Hello once again, dear viewers. You're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to our news broadcast. First, a quick look at the major headlines. 10 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today. Commendable Blood Donation Week in Northern Red Sea region. Blast rocks Palestinian camp, causing casualties. U.S. imposes sweeping sanctions on China, Myanmar and North Korea. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. 10 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at testing stations in the central and southern regions. Out of these, 8 patients are from testing stations in Asmara Central Region, 2 patients from testing stations in Mandafara Southern Region. On the other hand, 12 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Central Region have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 7,440. while the number of deaths stands at 63. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 7,656. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 13 December 2021. Commendable Voluntary Blood Donation Week has been organized in the Northern Red Sea region in cooperation with the National Voluntary Blood Donors Association and the National Blood Transfusion Center. Mr. Ahmed Jaffer, chairman of the National Voluntary Blood Donors Association branch in the region, said that about 900 bags of blood has been donated by employees of various institutions and students in the port city of Massawa, indicating that the association in the past 6 years has been conducting praiseworthy awareness-raising activities within the few increased the number of voluntary blood donors. Mr. Ahmed said that the encouraging participation of nationals in the Voluntary Blood Donation Week attests to the efforts exerted to that effect. Mr. Ahmed went on to say that the climatic condition in the region, coupled with the distance of the region from the center and transportation shortage, have been the bottlenecks in the voluntary blood donation process. The Voluntary Blood Donors Association in the Northern Red Sea region has been established in 2015 and has over 5,000 members. Meeting on implementation of development programs was conducted in Ginda subzone. At the meeting, the administrator of the subzone, Mr. Omar Yahya, said that the residents of the subzone are demonstrating encouraging participation in the implementation of the charted out development programs, especially in water and soil conservation activities with a view to boost agricultural production. Mr. Omar also called on area administrators to reinforce participation in the illegal cutting of trees at night time in some parts of the subzone. The participants on their part expressed conviction to strengthen organizational capacity and participation in the implementation of the set-out development drives. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international right after the short break. A large explosion has rocked a Palestinian camp in the southern Lebanese port city of Tyre, causing a number of casualties. The explosion took place at a suspected Hamas weapons depot in the Burj al-Shamali camp. The national news agency reported an unspecified number of deaths, but local media and civil defense workers said there have been no fatalities. A security source also told Reuters that fatalities had not been recorded. The army cordoned off the area, preventing people from entering or leaving the camp. Hamas said in a statement that the blast was caused by an electrical fault in a warehouse containing oxygen and gas cylinders for coronavirus patients, as well as detergents and disinfectants. Lebanon is home to tens of thousands of Palestinian refugees and their descendants. Many live in the 12 refugee camps that are scattered across the small Mediterranean country. The United States has imposed extensive human rights-related sanctions on dozens of people and entities tied to China, Myanmar, North Korea, and Bangladesh, and added a Chinese artificial intelligence company to an investment blacklist. Canada and the United Kingdom joined the United States in imposing sanctions related to human rights abuses in Myanmar, while Washington also imposed the first new sanctions on North Korea under President Joe Biden's administration and targeted Myanmar military entities, among others, in addition to marking Human Rights Day. The North Korean mission at the United States and the Washington embassies in China, Myanmar, and Bangladesh did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The governor of the U.S. state of Kentucky said more than 50 people are thought to have been killed by tornadoes, and that the figure could rise to as many as 100 in what he called the worst tornadoes in the state's history. Tornadoes are wreaking havoc across several U.S. states, with workers trapped in the Amazon warehouse in Illinois. More than 100 people were inside a candle factory in Mayfield, Kentucky, when the tornado hit, according to New York Times. It is not yet clear how many people were hurt by the roof collapse, but local emergency services have called it a mass casualty incident. A state of emergency continues in effect in Kentucky. Now, dear viewers, a quick recap of tonight's headlines. 10 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today. Commendable Blood Donation Week in Northern Red Sea. Blast rocks Palestinian camp, causing casualties. U.S. imposes sweeping sanctions on China, Myanmar, and North Korea. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.